Hello, friends. Welcome to English Learning Stop. Today we are off the road. That means we're not going to focus on English grammar today, but we're going to learn the etiquettes of job interview, something that you meet once in a while, once in 6 months, or a year, or probably once in 3 months if you're seeking for a job. So let's look at what are the etiquettes of job interview. See, when it comes to interviewing, knowing the rules ahead of time is very important. You should be prepared and you should be very confident and be yourself. So, well, good luck. I'm going to just share some etiquettes of job interview. See, the etiquettes count. Now, the scientific research says that it's just 4% of the verbal thing that counts, but 55% of body expressions count in an interview. So make sure you're sending the right message to the interviewer when you have sitting postures or you have your facial expressions or gestures. So let's look at a few etiquettes. I've written over here the first one, that is a perfect handshake. Now see, when it comes to handshake, this is something very important. You shouldn't go wrong with it. As soon as you walk into the room and when you are giving your hand in front or when you are putting out your hand in front, see that you have a firm grasp with the interviewer, and it shouldn't be very loose or it shouldn't be that tight. And when you are having this handshake, it shouldn't be more than 2 seconds. Remember, not more than 2 seconds. Some people do the mistake of having the handshake of more than 2 seconds. It shows that you're very nervous. So remember not to have a handshake more than 2 seconds. Okay, so this is something very important. So it should be firm enough and not very loose or not very tight. And shake it like you mean it. Okay. The second thing, as soon as you are walking inside, please see that you have your phones or your mobiles switched off. Okay. This shows that if you have your phones ringing while interviewing, you are not giving a perfect message to the interview. Okay. So this isn't the very right thing that you have your phone switched on. So mobiles should be put off. I've added this point over here, though this point should be the very first one, that your mobile should be put off. Anyway, okay, time is everything. That's my second point. Now, if you were supposed to reach at 9 a.m. in the morning for the interview and you couldn't reach for some reason, you were 5 minutes late or you're 10 minutes late, so that's not giving a very good expression to the interviewer. Okay, reach before time. If he or she has given you the time of 9 a.m., you should reach 10 minutes before. Make sure that you have the diesel or the CNG, everything in your car, or while you're driving. You should go just before the time. If your office is half an hour from your home, you should leave at 8:15, 15 minutes before that. If you reach at 8:45 over here, it's very good, it's perfect time. And be sure that you're confident enough. So time is everything, time counts. If you're late, you're not leaving a very good expression. So reach over there before time. It won't make the interviewer angry too if you're reaching before time. Okay, as soon as you walk in, consider that the interviewer is giving you a glass of water. Now, some people do the mistake of just saying that they don't need water at that moment. No, it doesn't sound very good that you are rejecting the interviewer to take a glass of water from him or her. Okay, just take a glass of water, and they want you to be comfortable enough when you are going to be interviewed. So as soon as they offer you, just have it. It will help you formulate the answers. Just take a sip of it if you don't want it. If you have already drunk water, if you had bottle with you, don't ignore. Let's move on. Okay, this is something very important, sitting posture. Now sometimes it happens that people, as soon as they sit on chair, they both, or they lean back or fold their arms, okay, or sometimes they're even folding their legs, or you are just giving a negative impression to the interviewer, and this is a very weak sign, okay, to lean back or to just sit with your arms folded. And the message you are definitely conveying to interviewer is that you are nervous enough. So be sure, instead of doing all these things, you have to sit straight up, okay. This is a very major point. Sit up straight, don't lean back, okay, and be relaxed. Don't fold your arms or legs, and you will give the influence that you are positive enough and that you are interested for the job. And one thing more, if another interviewer is walking inside and he's also going to interview you, he or she is going to interview you, please make sure that you stand up. It gives a very positive image of yourself, that you respect that person, okay. So whenever someone else walks into the room, stand up, okay. There is nothing harm in it. If you are sitting, you're just leaving a negative impression. So stand up if someone else enters the room. So you have to think about all the things. If the interviewer is walking inside, you can stand up, okay, just to show that you care for that person, that you have a perfect image of yourself. The next point, always relax yourself. This is the very main point. If you keep on jiggling on the chair and keep on changing body postures, that you're moving over here on the chair, that you're moving over there on the chair, and you're touching your tie or your buttons. If you're wearing a shirt with a tie, you're touching your tie continuously, or your buttons. You don't appear anxious over there, but you are showing yourself that you're nervous, okay. So calm down and take slow breath and prepare yourself for the interview, okay. Don't jiggle on the chair and don't keep on moving. Be confident enough, don't feel nervous, sit straight, okay. And one thing more, if you're seated on a table, and no, I don't mean that you're sitting on the table. You have the chair and you have the table in front of you. Please don't keep your hands on the table. Instead, you're going to sit straight and your hands should be down. I cannot draw over there. I'm not that good with illustrations. I hope you understand my point, that you don't have to keep your hands like this, okay. Instead, your hands should be down with the legs, okay. They shouldn't be seen. Fine, I hope you have understood my point. Let's move. Hand gestures, that's my next point. Some people do the mistake of continuously moving their hands. You have to be very steady with it. You don't have to move your hands. You don't have to keep on showing your hands, okay. And one thing more, see, if your hand is like this, your palm is facing upwards, okay. That means that you are giving the sign of being honest and trustworthy, okay. So if you're doing like this, that means you're honest enough that the interviewer can trust you, okay. And if you touch your heart like this on your body, that means that you are showing you are true enough and promising. So hand gestures count. Please don't face it like this, don't do it like this. Just keep it, if you are promising something, you have to show, yes, I promise, like this, okay. Or yes, I can do that, I can fulfill that position there, and you are promising that person that you can do very well for that company, okay. So this is something very important, hand gestures. I'm not writing something over here. I hope you have understood. Let's move on. Okay, then I have volume of speech over here. By this, I mean to say that when you are answering questions, your voice should be audible enough to be heard by the interviewer. You shouldn't be shouting, or you shouldn't be too low that the interviewer can't hear you. So your volume should be perfect enough that the interviewer can hear you. And please make sure that you are not smiling that much, and that won't give the interviewer a very good expression. Okay, and be precise, give the answer to the point and be precise. I'm adding the point over here, though it shouldn't be added, but just to tell you that you should be precise with the answers. You don't have to narrate the stories. Okay, remember this point. Whatever, if the interviewer asks you for how many years have you been in your previous company, so be exact. If you have been there for 2 years or for 3 years, just say 3 years. Be perfect enough. And if they ask you for the job reason that you left from there, why did you leave from there, so just give your answer in a one line. Okay, just don't narrate the stories. The interviewer does not have that much time, because you are not the only one who has gone for the interview over there, but there are people over there who are waiting for their turn. Okay, so be sure you are precise enough with the this is the most important part of all in your interview, that is eye contact. I hope you have got me what I'm trying to say over here. See, avoiding the gaze, looking down, it is the worst scenario of the job interview. While you are looking in the interviewer's eyes, you are showing that you are confident and perfect enough, and you are very positive. Okay, you are leaving a good signal, a good message to him, that you are very much confident. Okay, so don't lower your gaze. Okay, look in the interviewer eyes, and you shouldn't be staring like you're staring at that person and that person gets confused. Okay, so look, by this I mean to say, whatever question he asks you, you don't have to look down to reply. You have to look in front of the interviewer's eyes. Okay, I hope you have got me. An answer. Fine. Okay, then the next one. If you have a panel of interviewers over there, so how are you going to do an eye contact? See, if the first person is asking you, you are going to reply him. If the second person is asking you, then you are going to reply him facing towards him, and you have the eye contact with that person. Okay, but focus on the interviewer who is questioning you at that time. Okay, you don't have to look at everybody over there, the whole panel, but the one who is asking you the question, you have to look at that person. Okay, I hope you have got me. Next, avoid lying signals. By this I mean, what do some people do? As soon as they walk into the room, they start touching their face, they start touching their eyes, maybe they start touching their nose, ears, all the face parts. So that means you're not honest enough, and you're very much confused, you are nervous, so you are giving lying signals to that interview. So be straight, sit straight, be confident enough, look into the interviewer's eyes while you are answering the questions. Your voice should be audible enough to be heard by that person, and do not touch your body parts, especially your face parts. Right? Okay, so I hope I'm clear with the etiquettes of job interview. Got me? If you have any questions, any further questions you have that in your mind, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to assist. Thanks a lot, guys.